Hey, Matt Hints here, and this is the evaluation vlog for Oh What a Lovely War. And how did the performance go? The performance, well, the performances went absolutely amazing. I kind of thought about one performance there, and that was the Thursday night. It's where we just gave it our all, and we just showed the audience what we could do. So the performance went ever so well. It ran smoothly, no one messed up, I didn't mess up, and we even ad-libbed some of the parts, which was really nice because it added a comedic effect even though it was still about the war. Now explaining like how we worked as an ensemble, so how we worked as within a group. It's like if we didn't make that sort of like bond, because obviously the year ones and the year twos didn't really connect with each other, but after this 6 weeks they kind of like came together. It's kind of like there's not year one and year two, it's just us, and that's just pretty much what working as an ensemble like was. So we showed like that we can work together. And moving on to talk about like the communication of the group, like we're all friends after this. None of us really knew each other, but all of us are mainly friends after this. So because we have communication, it's like if you talk to each other, then you can tell them what they're doing wrong, what they're doing right. And literally in the performance, the communication was great because we didn't even, like when we were off stage, like as an ensemble, we didn't really have to speak to move down the line. It kind of just, we like communicated with our eyes, because like if people were in the way, they kind of looked at you and then they kind of moved forward or moved backwards for you, and that was actually really helpful. But it wasn't like normal communication where you talk to somebody like I'm doing now, but it's like a eye communication, which was like contact through the eyes, which was really nice to use. So that was good for communication. And obviously communication comes with teamwork. If you didn't have teamwork, then you wouldn't be able to build a performance, like build the performance that we did, because like through all the performances we built and built and built every single time. Like teamwork, we teamworked through all the rehearsals. We knew what we had to do. We had to have that main goal of this amazing performance which we needed to do with the circus, with the whole kind of thing with Oh What a Lovely War, and that's what we needed. And teamwork got us through the performances. The performances turned out great because, like I've said again, communication, that worked. Teamwork, they're literally together. They literally put themselves together. Moving on now, how did I do in the performance? How did myself? On the last night I thought I did excellent. Like, I don't want to big myself up a bit, but I did excellent. I kind of made everything so much bigger than I did in the other performances. Because in the other performances I was trying to like save my voice, kind of like, because I know if I speak too much or if I do things too much, then I kind of lose like my voice, kind of. But I just kept it till the end somehow, and it was just, I kept this really strong voice in the last performance, and I did everything that I needed to do on the stage because I wanted to try something, and I tried it and I did it and it worked, and I tried something else, I tried it, I did it and it worked, and I tried other things and I did it and it worked. And in the performances you need to either get it right or you get it really wrong, and the performance falls apart because it could be one person, it could be two people, it could be the whole cast that mess up. But you gotta concentrate on what you do, because no, you're not getting marked as a group, you're getting marked as an individual, and that's what hits you at the end of the performance. It's like, how did I do? I was going on to make, did I make any clear judgments in the performance? So did I make anything happen? I don't think I really did. I think more in the rehearsal process I made a lot of clear judgments to do for the final performance, but in the performance I don't really think I made any clear judgments at all. So we're going to skip on to that one. Well, skip off that one. What were the strengths of the performance? Well, it's mainly the voice was the main strength, because if you get the voice right, like when we were doing the Irish soldier bit, everyone had to kind of have an Irish accent, or at the start when the first scene, when they had the German accent, they had to equip the German accent, and that's what made it, because the World War One that had Germans in it, it had British in it, it had all those kinds of people in it, had Irish people in it, and had, yeah, just had all of them. And you just need to get the voice right, I think. Like, so one of the strengths was the voice, and the second one was physicality. Like, you need to kind of read into your kind of character. So obviously mine was soldier, so I tried to think of like the easiest thing to do with a soldier. So they're kind of like low down in the army, they're not that big, they're pretty much slaves of the army, kind of, which they were in World War One. They were kind of slaves of the army, they were literally just lapdogs, in other words. And obviously physicality as a soldier and voice as a soldier really helps for the strengths of performances. Moving on, what were my strengths in the performance? So what did I do which was really strong? Well, it's mainly just voice again, really, because I really did a lot with my voice, and I changed it around through performances. So I tried it deeper, I tried it like much higher, I tried it normal voice, I tried it add like a kind of Cockney accent onto it, just to try and grasp, just like see what worked. It's like, because even if you're in the performance, you still got to see what works and what doesn't, even if it is the performance and the final thing that you need to do, you still got to work with it. And yeah, now moving on, what were the weaknesses of the performance? So what went, it was probably the props on the side, because we kind of had trouble with, because there wasn't much space down the sides of where we could stand, there wasn't much space at all. So on the first kind of performances, some people left the guns like up against the walls, so if anyone knocked them they would fall on the floor and they make a big bang. But by the end of the performances they would lay on the floor next to helmets, so they wouldn't be kicked, or they wouldn't make a noise because they were already on the floor, and it would just make a nice like little sound. But that was a weakness, was the props and the way they were like laid out. I think, I'm not quite sure, I think that was probably the only weakness that we really that I can really spot and pick out from all the rest. And what were my weaknesses in the performance? I'm really not sure on that one, because I don't know, if I look back I don't really think I had any weaknesses. It might have been just overdoing some of the movements, or like overcooking them. So if I move and I move like really quickly or something, then I might just like overcook something, like I said, a movement. So that's obviously not going to be the best. And that's pretty much it for my weaknesses, I think. And to conclude the evaluation, overall I think it was a nice performance week. We had 6 performances, they got better and better each night, and I was really happy with myself for performing, and really happy with the group with performing. We came together as an awesome group, and if we could do it again I would love to do it again, because I could remember absolutely everything. So yeah, I'm going to end my evaluation here, and goodbye.